Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is T. Thank you so much for tuning in. So for those of you who have been waiting for me to post a video, I know it's been a while. I thank you so much for sticking around and for tuning in to the channel today. So in today's video, I want to do a combination of things. First, I want to share with you all the sewing makes that I intend to make for the remainder of the month. Secondly, I want to also tell you a little bit about some testing that I'm doing and then also some life updates. And the reason why I'm talking about the testing, I can't tell you like in detail the different patterns that I'm testing until release date. However, I did want to just go ahead and inform you all that I am working behind the scenes and I'm doing things here and there. And then also, obviously, because of the situation with COVID and schools closing and things like that, I do have a little one at home. So I am quite busy, and so I haven't been able to post as much as I was posting last year at this time. However, I will try to keep you guys updated as much as I can and continue to bring you content to this channel. So firstly, as I stated before, I want to go ahead and share with you the sewing makes that I want to make for the remainder of this month. I have about 4 or 5 patterns that I have put on my list. However, 3 of these patterns are dress patterns that are very similar to one another, and I only intend on choosing one of these. And maybe you guys can actually help me make a good choice as to what I should be making with a particular fabric that I have in mind. So the dress, the silhouette of these dresses are very loose and flowy. They have elasticized waist. I think, yeah, all of them has an elasticized waist. So they're very easy and straightforward to make, which is something that I really need in my life right now because of everything that's going on. So anyway, without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you the different patterns that I intend on making for the remainder of the month. I'll tell you a little bit about the pattern testing that I'm doing, and then also I will give you some life updates. All right, so first, the pattern that I am considering making is McCall's M8035, which is a pattern that has 13 different pieces. It's an easy pattern, and it has, let's see, 3 different variations. It has this view here, which is view A. That is a shorter view of the dress, but the bodice part of it, it's not only elasticated, but it also has like this little peplum piece that goes around the bodice front as well as the bodice back and hangs over the skirt. So I think this one is really cute as well. And I don't know if I want to make that one though, because I don't really like a whole lot of detail at the waist. So I don't know if I'm going to make that one, but I really like view B here, which is this view right here. And it's also a shorter version of the skirt. However, it has a gathered tier or a gathered ruffle here at the bottom of the skirt, which I think is really cute as well. It is a faux wrap bodice. So all the different versions include a faux wrap bodice and an elasticated waist. You do have different sleeve variations. So for view A, you can do a tulip sleeve here. And then for view B, you have a long bishop sleeve, and it has elastic at the bottom of the sleeve there. And then for view C, that's the one that the model is wearing here. It's a long skirt that has a slit on the side here. And it's also, it also has an elasticated waist with a faux wrap bodice and also long bishop sleeves with elastic at the bottom of the sleeve. So I really like this pattern. This was a pattern that a lot of people were making over on Instagram for the Sew Your View challenge, which is hosted by Monica of That So Monica on Instagram. And I really love the different variations that people have made. I never got a chance to make this pattern during that time. And I really like I said, the different views and the silhouettes of these. It's very easy and simple to make. I already made up the bodice just to get an idea of what size I would need. And by the way, this pattern comes in sizes such as extra small, small, and medium. It also, so this is the first envelope, and then the second envelope, it's increased in size, and I think that's like a large and an extra large. So you can get this pattern in a large and an extra large as well. The fabrics that they suggest are crepe, challis, georgette, interlock knits, and fabrics such as that. The notions that you're going to be needing is just elastic and thread. So it's a very, like I said, easy and straightforward pattern. And you don't really need any closures or anything like that because it's a faux wrap and it has elastic at the waist. So that's the first pattern that I'm considering making. So the second dress that I am considering making for my fall dress is the McCall's M7973. This is a pattern that came out, I think not last year, but maybe the year before last. I can't remember. It may have been last year. But this is the pattern here. It's another easy pattern. It has 4 different variations. You have 3 different sleeve variations as well. As you can see, it's very similar to the previous pattern. Especially for view D, because you have that split, you have that very long dress, the long sleeves with the elastic at the cuff there. Well, it's not a cuff, but it's the elastic at the wrist. And the only difference is that the bodice is actually closed and you don't have a faux wrap on the bodice. The bodice is actually cut on fold for both the back and the front, but the waist is elasticated. So, but it's a very loose fitting dress for views D. And then as you can see for view C, you have the option of putting tiers on there. You could do some color blocking. It has a bow tie for the neck here. And again, very long sleeves with elastic at the wrist. So it's really simple, not too much different from the first pattern that I showed you. And then for variations A and B, for A, you have a skirt with a ruffle at the bottom, and that would be this one right here that is featured in purple. Here, you have a sleeve that's a shorter sleeve, and you're going to put elastic in the sleeve there to create like a little ruffle on your sleeve. So it's very simple and easy. And then for view B, you have a longer dress here. So as you can see, it drops down past the knees, and the sleeves are quite different than all the other views. The sleeve, actually, you're going to gather the sleeve. Let me see if I can show you so here is the line art here. And as you can see for view B, you're going to gather your sleeve and you're going to have like some ruching on your sleeve going down the center of the sleeve. And as I mentioned before, with view C, as you can see, they have color blocking options. And so you're going to have several different panels for your main skirt that you're working with. So that skirt, the front piece will be cut on fold, but then you have a side front and a side back, I believe. And then you have your back that's also going to be cut on fold. And then you can do some color blocking with those different pieces. So that is the second dress the dress pattern that I'm thinking about making for my fall dress. The third pattern that I'm thinking about using is the McCall's M7970. And again, very easy pattern. The only difference with this one here, because this one also has a faux wrap top with gathers that's at the shoulder line. But you do have an option to do like wide sleeves. There's also some color blocking options as well. So like with view C, you could do color blocking. They have an option where it can be sleeveless for views A and C. And then for view A here, you have the choice of doing ruffles going down the front of the bodice as well as on the side of the skirt. And then for view B, that's the one that I am thinking about making, which is this one right here. It's a faux wrap top, elasticated waist, and a short skirt with flounce sleeves. So the sleeves are like long flounce sleeves. And again, you have some gather detail at the shoulder line. So I'll show you the line art for that. So yeah, so those are the three dress patterns that I'm thinking about making. Not all three of them, but I want to make at least one of them for my fall dress. And I'll show you the fabric that I want to use for this. So here's the fabric. And this fabric I just recently picked up from Walmart. It's a really nice fabric. And I believe they purchased this fabric from a fabric store in California. And it was a remnant, and Walmart ended up getting their hands on it. And I think it's a really nice piece. It's a rayon challis fabric, and it's very drapey. And as you can see, it has some beautiful fall flowers on there. So I really want to make this. It's orange flowers with green stems on a black background. So that's the fabric that I want to use for that fall project. I'm thinking about doing this one right here, which I think is a really nice simple cardigan. It has your sleeve, your front, which is cut out twice because it's an open cardigan. Your back is cut on fold, and then it has a neckband that goes around the entire garment from front to back. So it's like a stand-up neckband collar. So and then it also has a tie belt as well. And this entire pattern here is just for knits. So you have two options of a cardigan. So there's the long sleeve cardigan, and then there's a short sleeve cardigan. And then you have the shirt pattern, which there are two options there with different, I think it's different sleeve lengths. And then you have your pant pattern. And then there's a dress pattern, which is here. So I haven't made any of these before, but I'm looking forward to making the cardigan and hoping that I can get that done this month as well before cold weather start hitting, and I can have something to layer my tops with, because it's not cold enough yet to have a jacket, but it's just cold enough here where I'm at to need a cardigan. Lastly, I want to make my daughter a nightgown. So my daughter, and this is going to be part of my update of my life mission as well. My daughter just recently went out to serve a mission for our church. And so she's no longer living at home, but she's out serving a mission for our church. And one of the things that she has requested since being out, she's been out for about 7 weeks now. And one of the things that she's been requesting that she neglected to take with her is a nightgown and some slacks. And so for her slacks, I am going to go ahead and make her a pair of the Lander pants, which I already did a review of that earlier this month. If you missed that review, I'll put the link to that in the description box below as well. So you'll have a lot of links to check out here. But you can go over and see my review of the Lander pants. And if you're not familiar with the Lander pants, you can check out that video. I have links within that video as well, where you can go over and go to the True Bias site and see what the Lander pants are about, what kind of copies you can get, like printed pattern versus copy shop. And then the sizes and things like that they have, the ranges of sizes. I have a full review of that, so check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and make her a couple of slacks, and I'm going to send those to her as a Christmas gift. So I'm going to get working on that. And then I also want to do the McCall's M7515, which is a pattern that it has a few variations of night pieces. So you can make so it has 4 different variations. So variation A is a night top, and this pattern comes in all these different patterns are knit patterns. So there's the top, which is a knit top. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. You can actually make this in a variety of different fabrics. So they have suggested fabrics such as cotton flannel, cotton knits, and cotton blends. So the shirts and the nightgown, the neckline is wide enough that you could just slip it over your head without any kind of closure. And so you don't have any closure. So you can use a stable woven fabric with no scratch, or you can use a stable stretch fabric. So yeah, you do have those 2 options. And then for views C and D, these are night shorts and also night pants. And so they have an elasticated waist. So if you decide you want to do knits or woven, it's fine with those as well. So that is what I am planning on making for my daughter. I think I'm going to make this view right here. And I have on hand in my stash. Oh, and by the way, I've decided that I'm not buying any more fabric. I've did a deep clean. This is part of my life update as well. I did a deep clean of the entire sewing room, the craft room, the house, every nook and cranny. We washed baseboards and walls this past weekend. And I have found that I have so much fabric in this house that I've collected over the years, fabric that people have gifted me, fabric that I've bought, just too much fabric. So I've decided to commit to just not buying any more fabric until I can get my stash down at least half of what I own right now. So I don't want to make any more purchases here. But I do have in my stash a Scottish dog Christmas knit fabric that I had purchased from Joann's a while ago, and it would be perfect, I think, for this, considering I'm going to be sending this to her as a Christmas gift. And I think I have just enough left. I will have just enough left over to make my boy Jace some PJs as well, which I really like to do during the upcoming seasons, like for Halloween or for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like I really like to make him PJs during that time. So those are my plans and my life updates. Just mostly I've been focusing on doing a deep clean of my house, my surroundings, organizing my thoughts, organizing my spirituality, my spiritual side, and just trying to get refocused on the more important things in life. And that's mostly where I've been the last couple of weeks. I've just been trying to get back on track. I find that when I don't have a clean surrounding, like if my sewing room is too cluttered or whatever, it makes it hard for me to actually work in the space. So I sometimes have to really step back and do a deep clean of everything before I can like refocus and get back on track. So that's basically what I've been doing. And then also teaching Jace as well. That's been challenging as well as something very new. So I've been doing that. And oh, about the testing, the pattern testing, I forgot all about that. So I am testing 2 patterns this month. One is due November 2nd, and I think the other is due the week after that. And therefore, I'm testing for 2 separate companies. One is going to be a top and the other is going to be a skirt. I'm really excited to show you what these look like. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, I can't tell you a whole lot about that, with the exception that I'm pattern testing. And so I will give you all of the details of it and show you, share with you a pattern review of both. And also in that pattern review, I'll include my experience testing the pattern. I'm thankful that you all came in and watched the video. Make sure that you give me a big thumbs up. And don't forget to go ahead and leave me a comment below and tell me which pattern I should make for my fall dress. And I will talk to you all soon. All right. So yeah, I'll keep you all updated on my progress and I will talk to you all later. All right. Until next time, everyone, stay creative. Bye.